Does it do any, oh, there it goes. Okay, I think it started. Okay, so we are starting at 7:32? Is that what you said, Rob?
Yep.
Okay.
Come to order. Got the attendance?
I have the attendance.
Mr. Delventhal called or sent me a text that he's tied up at school. Wish he could be here, but will not be here.
Do we need to, all regular members are here, so we're good?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So we have an agenda, approval of the agenda. Accept the motion.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any additions, changes?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstaining? Okay, thank you. Conservation Commission minutes of 8/7/18.
So just for a note, I noticed the numbering schema is wrong, so it goes from 4 approval of Conservation Commission meetings for 7/3 to then 3 old business, so I will fix that before we post it, and I've already fixed it for future minutes.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
I found a couple of things.
Yes, where are we, Charlotte?
At the very first page.
Yep.
With the attendance, you put Matthew Buell instead of John.
Thank you.
And then
Hold on one
down-
second, hold on. Yes.
And then 4B,
Wait 1 second.
it says, discuss ADA trail grant, Mr. Smith, blah, 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 by the land trail, who will, I think.
Oh, land trust, I think it's,
Trust.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
And then later in the same paragraph, there is also signage, paving the parking lot, and other things to address the trail. That's not,
To address on the trail.
yeah, that's what I thought. And that's the only things that I found.
I didn't find anything.
Okay. Paul or Joe?
Motion?
I
What
have,
time?
What?
I have number 3, old business,
Yep,
paragraph A.
yep.
Mr. Smith asked Mr. Gelson if he went and looked at the Shanigan property.
I fixed the spelling for Shanigan Road.
Okay,
I got that.
good, all right, that's it. That's all I have.
And I also got Phragmite. I need an R in Phragmite, which is the second paragraph. Hi, Sue. Sue, we are recording.
Recording.
We are recording.
I mean, is it, you mean on
Video.
camera?
Yes, on camera. So is that it on section 3B, Todd?
Yeah. That's it for me.
Okay. Sue, did you have any changes to the minutes? No. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
My mouth is full.
So I got you covered.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Do we have a motion for the minutes as amended?
I don't move it.
Second.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstaining? Okay, then we have this motion to approve the forestry subcommittee minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. I did not see anything.
I didn't see anything either.
Did you, Todd?
I have not seen anything.
Okay, perfect.
Does that mean you haven't read them or?
Doing it quickly now. Yeah. Yep, good.
Okay,
Let the minutes reflect that that's only the second time in the 10 years span that I've done this that we've had no changes.
okay. All in favors?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Shannon, for those excellent minutes as usual. So let's jump right into old business. Subcommittee updates. So stewardship and forestry management. So, do you want to talk about it?
worked on the Dean property and got probably, what, 3/4 of trail done before the bees attacked.
The yellow jackets.
Yeah.
And so we have a little bit more work to do on that trail. And we blazed it.
Which trail was this,
On Dean, there's only one trail on Dean.
oh,
The
of
orange,
course,
yeah, the
thanks.
Blaze Orange Trail.
Oh, you blazed it, okay.
Yeah. And that is the color, blaze orange. And we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do this week, later.
We can talk about it now.
Go ahead, you take that.
Okay, we did get permission to stockpile our lumber down at Ray of Light. So we will be doing that right against the border near the cemetery that's down there. And Sue, do you by chance remember what that cemetery is called? Not important, just.
It's a very obscure cemetery. You have to really go deep into the woods to, it's something like Second Yard, or it has some strange name, but it's gone out of my head.
So we will be relocating the lumber that's currently stockpiled at my house down to that location.
That's the next work party, right?
Yes, and that will be Saturday. And I believe I told somebody 10:30, but I believe it'll be 11:30 if that works, or what?
I won't be around though. Use my trailer. It's meat.
I figured. Are you around later in the day?
Yes.
What time?
Let me,
This weekend, he said.
Check your schedule
I
and
will
get back
check,
to me.
yes.
Let me know, because
Yes.
then we can do it in the afternoon. I don't think it'll take much more than an hour with two or three
Okay.
trucks, so.
yep.
So it's on Sunday or Saturday? The one
Saturday.
Saturday's the 8th.
It may, exact time not posted yet.
Let's see. 3.
3-ish, if you want to put that in. While we're on the subject of stewardship, there was a proposal made at the subcommittee meeting on the 29th. And it was approved by the stewardship subcommittee. And I will read what it says from the minutes, just to refresh everybody. Motion by Ms. Gelson that the Forestry and Storage Subcommittee recommend a policy addition to the full Conservation Commission that all bridge construction projects henceforth fall under the aegis of the Conservation Commission from design through construction. It was seconded by Ms. Gleason. A little more detail, all bridge plans are either based on DEEP or Forest Service specifications or are engineered specifically for the space. Mr. Smith talked with Roger Nimmergut and asked if he could provide some standards around bridge understructure, meaning the support beams as the superstructure, railings, decking, etc. are the same. Mr. Nimmergut noted he can provide these as general guidelines around all the bridges created thus far, basically using those guidelines. There's a cost, but given that the EHLT can use these same standards, the EHLT, East Haddam Land Trust, and EHCC can split the costs. And that brings us to a need for a motion, or discussion at least, and then a motion. Joe, you weren't at the meeting. You understand what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Understand.
understand. Yep.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion. Todd?
This means, just one before I do the motion.
Yep. Okay.
This means that, as far as construction of any bridges, it'll be done by, people of the Conservation Commission or hired contractors if it's a big enough bridge for the Conservation Commission. I mean, no other volunteers, no other projects will be done by anybody.
They may assist, but they will be supervised, and the project will be managed by the Conservation Commission.
In close direction by the Conservation Commission.
Correct.
I move that we follow the recommendation. I move that the Conservation Commission follow the recommendation and approve the recommendation presented to us tonight by the Forestry and Stewardship Subcommittee meeting.
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Also at the stewardship meeting, we discussed signage and getting some more kiosks out. One sign that kiosk that we did forget was Urbanic. We had talked about it a while back, and we actually, Maryland's already produced a sign for it, and I totally forgot about it. So right now, where we want the kiosks are Sabine at the east, at the west end of the east section of Daniel Peck, Roaring Brook at the parking lot, Davison at the parking lot, and Lena property at the parking lot, and Urbanic, we'll add that, will be at replacing the existing sign, which is in from the road a ways near
Are we
the,
gonna put it out on the end of Foxtown Cemetery Road? Because that's where the trail actually begins.
we could put it there, or we could put it in a little bit where it'd be less apt to get vandalized, I think, there, because it's really out of sight. And I mean, as it is right now, actually, it might be better, we can discuss that further, but because in talking to Mr. Turner, who lives there, Ron Turner, he said that the big sign has been vandalized repeatedly. So maybe it's better to try and put it out by the road, right at the very entrance. So what do you think about that?
That's Urbanic.
Yeah,
What
These-
size you talking about? The smaller ones?
yeah. And Joe, how many? 3? So we need material for 2 more then?
I'll see what I have.
Okay,
So, this is, the Urbanic is in addition to the ones we talked about, right?
correct,
Okay.
correct.
So are you gonna, I'm sorry, just for the, maybe you don't care about this, Rob, but do we need to note in the minutes that this will be replacing the one that's further in, or is this an addition
It will be
to it?
replacing.
That was an Eagle Scout project, wasn't it, to put that one, first one in? And then-
Way
Way
back, I
back,
believe.
yeah, it was an Eagle Scout project to put a trail in.
Unfortunately, it has deteriorated
Yeah,
to the point
it's
that it has to.
replaced, yep.
I wonder if we can reuse any of the lumber from it.
I don't think so.
No?
No. It's been out there now for 15 years or so.
Oh,
so.
that long, okay.
Okay, let's see. Also, on this general subject, I have a letter here I'll read into the record from Mr. John P. Buell. Hand delivery, September 4th, East Haddam Conservation Commission, 1 Plains Road. Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen the draft minutes of the meeting of your Forestry and Stewardship Subcommittee on August 29, 2018. Based on those minutes, I have decided to pursue a different project in another town with an organization that is very enthusiastic about having the help of volunteers. Very truly yours, John P. Buell. I believe that's what it says. And a copy of this went to the Board of Selectmen. So,
I didn't think there was anything
yeah, I don't think,
bad in what we said, was there?
no, I do not believe that we were not enthusiastic. I think we just wanted to have them follow the protocol, but be that as it may,
I just, for the record, like to say, I don't think that anybody could have been more enthusiastic about volunteerism than this commission. We work really hard to be open and accessible to volunteers. But
I
we
agree.
But we have responsibilities for the public that we have to, that's our charge. So that's regrettable, but I think we really work very well with volunteers.
Well, as I said to his scoutmaster, that I hope he hasn't given up his goal of achieving becoming an Eagle Scout, and wish him luck. This is what I told him, because I hadn't received this. Wish him luck in his pursuits, and again, hoped he would work on becoming an Eagle Scout. So,
Well, since his troop is in Haddam, it makes much more sense for his project to be in Haddam.
there's not an indication that it is in Haddam, so it's in another town. So,
Well, I mean, I thought that was a given in another town in Haddam, because that's where the troop is.
not necessarily. So, but anyway. So moving on, Let's see, anything else for stewardship that I'm,
I actually put this underneath the potential Eagle Scout projects. if
Yep.
That's okay with you?
yep, thank you. So our next, after we get the lumber moved, we're gonna concentrate on getting the bridge in. It's a pretty substantial bridge. We'll have to have some additional trips down there with bags of concrete and things like that, but if we can get the lumber stored, then we can get them in and we'll have to get Bernie involved because he likes making concrete, Bernie Gillis, so.
But
Let's make
before
sure we do it in the hot weather.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it is a big job and a lot of work carrying concrete, we're gonna lay it out first.
Oh, yes. What do you mean, are we gonna lay it out first?
Well, I just know how things go sometimes, but, need a rod in transit, cause it's what, 200 feet long?
It's fairly lengthy,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember the exact distance, at least 160 feet, maybe longer. The bridge will be in the 20 to 24 foot range,
Span.
span.
Yeah. Well, I thought, well, it said next to the bridge, there's a walkway too, didn't you do?
Yes, there's a walkway because we're not going onto the Ray of Light property in any way, so it just, more labor for us, but easier, and would not have to involve town meetings and everything if they provided us with a piece of property and everything to make it shorter. That added 60 feet on, by not being able to do that, it adds 60 feet
Yeah,
onto
that's what I thought, yeah.
onto the total length of the bridge. But that will be very low. It will only be less than 30 inches above the dirt, mud,
Yeah.
swamp, so.
So no railing on
If we
that?
had done it in the other location, would it have had to be higher?
No, it just would have gone to, you know, we would have been on ground, that's the only difference. If we had been able, if we had used their property, we would have just been able to avoid 60 feet of bridge. So it would have been, the location would have been short, gone into the bank, on their property, 60 feet short of where it's gonna go into the bank on our property. So,
We're gonna need to clear the entrance, cause I blocked it up with every stick I could find to the road.
no,
onto
because
Roosevelt.
we can come in from where the gate is, doesn't make that much
Okay.
difference.
And this bridge will be strictly for humans.
Pedestrians and bicycles, yeah,
Bicycles.
if there's any.
But horses have to,
Horses will have to bypass it and wade, so.
yeah.
Which is, the bottom of the brook there is hard, so I don't see there being an issue
Yeah,
there, so.
actually pretty gravelly.
Yeah, it's very gravel, so a little bit of mud getting there, but, after about 4 or 5 trips through with horses, it'll probably be a pretty good path, so.
Yeah.
And then that opens all up that whole side to, both to,
The east side.
the east side,
Yeah.
and, the horses can then, easily get to, Silas Homes, and then to Shanigan Road and wherever else, so.
That's good. Well, that property is used, the west side is used quite a bit.
Yes.
Always, not always, most of the time I see cars in there when I go by.
Yep.
It's amazing.
So, Joe wasn't happy to get stung 18 times on Saturday.
18 times.
So, he lost count somewhere. But, so he wants to go out and do some mowing, and he's got the mower already on the truck. So, he's gonna go back to, because he's a glutton for punishment, he's going back to the Dean property.
Oh, nice.
But he's gonna have a backpack
How are you?
full of wasp and hornet spray, so,
Really?
Joe, did they come up
You're
from
not
the ground?
allergic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever he was sawing, they came up from,
This time of year, the yellow jackets come up around there.
yeah.
Horrible, horrible.
they went up the shirt.
Yeah.
So,
We got attacked by.
so the question we have is, where else do we want him to mow? And Marilyn, I don't know what you've been able to walk recently, or,
At
Any
Dean? I haven't been on Dean in a
any
while.
place, well, he's gonna, there's only the one trail in Dean, but
Yeah,
I don't think you
and-
can make,
there's a huge parking lot that needs cleaning.
at the beginning, you mean, yeah.
So you're gonna do the Dean Trail and parking lot?
Yes,
Yeah. And
You
then,
do down the side of that rock wall?
yeah, as much as I can.
so, it probably wouldn't hurt to do Rose Farm again, both sides. You can take a look at it if you want. And I also mowed a right where the kiosk is, I mowed a single path in there down as a shortcut. You'll see where I mowed it.
Nice stuff. In the
Okay.
middle there?
Yeah, right straight,
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
yeah. I know, it's
We
weird.
I also mowed,
Here's,
Harris, have you done
Yes.
Harris?
yes, I mowed Harris.
that's gonna need it again.
Harris needs to be mowed,
Yep.
especially on the east side.
Yep.
There's lots of raspberries and wineberries and dewberry in there, so that's annoying. Check the west side where it goes into the open space portion. It's mowed along the edge, but I don't know how far they went down the trail, the orange trail there, okay?
Somebody's keeping that looking really nice.
Yeah, well, that's town maintenance crew. So, Petrel, I'm also mowed down at Petrel, the entrance area, and down that path there,
For patrol as well?
yeah. But you might wanna mow the Esker Trail. And maybe the access to the yellow trail. How many weeks do you wanna be out mowing?
See where that gets me.
Okay. If anyone thinks of anything else that's pressing, I think a little mowing could happen on Davison, if you want to go up there, but,
Are we cleared?
yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that right now, but the trail at the beginning was starting to get a little bit grown up, with bittersweet and everything, up to where you go up, you go past the rock area and then you keep going, go up, turn to the left and then to the right, and somewhere in there, you probably can stop, but take a look at it, okay? Okay. All right, and while we're on stewardship, our resident volunteer sitting in the audience here, let's pass that picture around,
Here we go.
has been doing a yeoman's job down at straightening out, or working in the hatch lot parking lot. He's planted 4 viburnums and cleaned it up around there, wrestled for hours with Phragmites roots, and he's still standing. Unfortunately, the Phragmites are too, but
This is Rose Farm again, right?
no, hatch lot.
That's not, thank you, sorry.
And it looks great. I stopped by the other day and he's been watering it even, so
Now, how big do these bushes grow?
I'll get about 6 feet tall, 6 feet by 6 feet.
they're great. They're a native shrub and blossoms are liked by almost every pollinator in the spring. And
Thank you.
and the berries are liked by all sorts of birds, and
There's insects that have been eating the leaves down there as well.
see, we gotta keep the insects happy. Everything is, they're really great and they're native. And as you can see in the background there's lots of goldenrod,
Yeah.
which is also a native. And the question of the night is, does goldenrod make you sneeze?
Oh,
No,
it always gets a bad
I know,
rap.
it does gets a bad rap. It's really the ragweed that's out right now.
that's great.
And you can
What
identify,
about milkweed? Is milkweed an invasive or?
no, that's
No.
native.
Native,
The native, yeah.
and the monarchs,
I
Right.
know.
that's what the monarchs live on.
So,
If anyone wants to transplant some, we
I
have
do.
lots of milkweed, 4 different varieties.
I'd like to take some.
And we leave them in some of the 100 acres, but we really don't like them in Hayfield.
That's enough, Charlotte, that's
okay,
So we want some.
Yes.
anything else? You wanna talk a little bit while you're here on,
I just wanted to say from the minutes, you indicated you would get these documents
Yep.
laminated.
Yep.
Right now, I have them kind of hanging.
Okay.
And they've been getting water damage. I tried taping them shut, but it doesn't work. But if you can get them laminated,
Mhm.
I have some spare T111 that I could build some
Simple
signage
okay,
and some pressure treated wood that I could put it on, and I could put that in the
Well,
ground.
we
in
have
front of it.
posts, we have posts coming out of our ears.
We have posts,
We
okay.
have posts. So I think one post with, you wanna try and do something with this to see if,
Looking at me?
Yeah, who's
yeah,
that?
yes, I'm looking at you because you're our sign
leaning
person
back.
usually.
I'll get them laminated.
So,
We should buy a laminator.
can you send
They're not that
this
expensive.
electronically to Marilyn?
Yeah, if I have Marilyn's email.
Sure.
We will get that to you.
I can,
Or is it on,
it's on the minutes.
okay.
I can send it to him.
Okay, she'll send it to you then.
Perfect. Okay. I think I have everything on stewardship. You haven't had a chance to look down on Shanigan Road? No? Okay, that's fine. No one wants to go out in the woods if they can help it
That's for sure.
in this heat and everything, so.
And the bees are
And the
everywhere.
bees, apparently there's lots of bees out there. I haven't seen any, not a single one, so. Paul, by the way, in case you didn't know, he got nailed the previous work party, so. But, I don't know, every time I look up, people are running away. I don't understand
Come
it.
on, I got
And I
this.
have, and then I have to, well, the first time, on Paul's, I had to go, okay, I'm the one that has to go rescue the saw, and then
We had to do it. This saw was getting attacked. Your saw was still running, so they weren't happy.
it was covered in yellow jackets, so, my very creative crew out there, cause I didn't care, I was going the other direction, but, they made themselves a 14-foot long
Yeah.
pole with a hook on the end and slowly dragged it back so that it could be retrieved and they could go home. Because
We were this close to leaving it.
after all, it was only Joe. So.
Right.
You could have set it up as kind of a trap for the next person to go, oh, look, someone left me a saw. Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah.
So, and Tom, how many times did Tom get stung, rescuing you or helping you?
Oh, I have no idea.
Couple of times, and then once when we were getting the saw, so he got nailed a few times.
So you had him at the other end of the 14, and
Yeah,
you were at
that's-
25?
Yep.
So anyway, bunch of troopers, thank you. Bernie Gillis and I, by the way, we were marking the trail and had said, okay, you guys are on your own, we'll meet you back there. And then I got the text that man down, so. All right, moving along, volunteer activism. We should have and we have nothing going on there, but outreach and promotion, we should have a new quarterly magazine. Do you think?
I haven't gotten the
No,
notice.
it hasn't come out yet, but we should be thinking about it, so.
Well, yeah, we always get a prompt from Linda when
Yeah.
it's time, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen that.
No, it usually should be coming pretty soon.
Right.
On that subject, though, the 22nd of September, which is 3 weeks away.
Yep.
It's coming up in new business, so we'll talk about it then, but we have to do some planning if we're gonna move forward.
Before we leave outreach and promotion, do we want to talk about article suggestions for Stu?
Well, I was gonna ask
Oh,
you if there's
okay.
anything you wanted specifically or thinking about articles or,
No,
Okay.
I'm
we'll wait till you get notified and the juices start flowing.
Well, how about doing something about the plantings at,
oh, what a good idea.
at Hatchlot?
Yes.
I think that's worth a whole article?
Yes,
And I think you should feature it.
yeah, that's what I
Yes,
mean.
well,
That's,
And the good thing, Gary, is that you're gonna get your picture taken
Volunteer activism.
working there, so.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, yes. Who was the guy that never, you only saw this much
Oh,
of?
yeah, Wilson.
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 So,
We can
Go
make it
from,
not just about the
tool
project,
time
but
or
also
whatever.
a bit
Yeah.
about
About natives
invasives and
and
native.
yes, we'll
Yeah.
expand on it, so.
Yep.
So, okay. IWWC report,
Not much going on that I know of.
B and Z,
Well,
you were done.
I'm done.
Oh, okay,
yes.
so B and Z.
I missed the 14th, the August 14th meeting due to being out of town, and there was a hearing on the August 28th meeting that has been continued to the next meeting, which will be,
Which was for,
What was it
which
about?
it's specifically it's for the
the fields, yes.
What field?
What fields?
There's
Athletic fields at
Oh.
the municipal office complex.
right behind us.
They're not going to be doing anything, but they're gonna be doing the design work so that when and if grants or anything becomes available, they'll have something
Oh,
in the drawer. They have to address some drainage issues and things like that, but which will all be
What
part
kind
of
of
the
fields?
design.
Planning and
What kind of
zoning is
fields?
here doing
Uh,
a field.
Well, I know it's out
Yeah.
there, but what are they gonna put
There
in?
may be soccer
Multiple
field,
Planning and zoning has
or
a
softball
5
fields, I'm
o'clock
not sure.
sidewalk
Athletic fields.
for that project for tomorrow.
Did you hear that all?
Sorry,
Planning
continue.
and zoning is doing a site walk also tomorrow, on that field.
At 5:30?
Yes.
do you know what they're planning on doing with that field eventually?
Well, it would be-
What sport would it be?
Probably soccer,
Soccer?
because that's what it was, but it was also a softball field for many years, so.
You wanna keep it, you can do pretty much.
Now, there's a lot
whatever
more acreage there, it goes all the way out to, Macamudos Hill there,
Oh, okay.
149, 151, so.
Oh, okay.
That's where the
But
track
that
used to
part
be,
of it
right?
Had never been, is wooded, I think.
Yeah, it is mostly wooded
It was
still.
never, I mean, that's a more recent acquisition. That's,
I don't
yeah,
know
it was acquired, probably 20 years ago, so,
But it came from Brownells, that's all I can,
right.
so. So Joe does have some plans there, if someone wants to take a quick look at them.
anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the mic, yeah.
The biggest issue that we're trying to address, or that is trying to be addressed, is how best to handle water flow from our properties here, the pavement and everything down there, and get the ditching correct. Eventually the last I saw of the prints, they were talking about, rather than a ditch, a pipe across a field to a settling pond, or a retention basin, but I don't know what the current plan is.
Yes.
Oh, it's a big area.
It's a fairly good sized area.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting, if anyone wants to see it.
That's all.
So it's looking like 3 soccer fields. After all the cleaning up. Yeah, obviously, this is not cast in stone, but just information.
Subject to change, but
Yeah.
that's very.
You got a colored one here. All right, to keep us moving along. Excuse me.
There was a Gateway Commission hearing on August 15th. I wasn't able to attend. I forgot where I was somewhere else. What happened from that? Do anybody know?
Gateway hearing here or
One
at
down in
Gateway?
Deep River.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone was able to attend. I know it was discussed here. What's that?
Not any good news for what planning and zoning has presented to them. They gave them, planning and zoning gave them suggestions, and apparently they weren't approved, and so they're not signed, currently, I guess we're not planning on signing on to their new regulations, so.
The town of East Haddam is not?
Well, planning, I don't,
I don't know if the planning and zoning makes that decision or the Board of Selectmen makes that decision, but,
Well, it didn't used to be, they don't really have much choice. When they go to the hearing, they can give input, but with the Gateway Compact, there's certain rules that the local P and Zs cannot avoid, they have to maintain, if that's what the commission wants. There's other rules that they can live within that, they can make variation, but there's a few hard points.
So-
One of them is building height.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that was one of the sticking points too.
But didn't it say something in reference to the towns could either opt to, increase it, which is what
They can be
wanna do,
more, no,
or
they can be more strict,
Yeah.
but they
can
cannot
more
be
strict, Which
lenient.
is what we would be, more strict.
Actually, no, at one point they were talking about being more lenient, but
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I thought that
Up to 40 feet
the
or
gateway
something,
was
yeah.
becoming more lenient.
a lot of the, from what I remember of the discussion, again, this is just what I remember, it's not the official minutes, but it was just, there was discussion on a number of subjects, and there was some question about some arbitrariness in the and the language wasn't clear. And, we have an exception in the village already to building height because of the good speed. And, and I think the other issue, Joe, and I don't know if you were there for that, is the discussion of where the height measurement is taken from, so.
I'm not sure. I just heard through Harvey and Prairie what they got from it.
So, anyway, that's all I can tell you on that. Anything else, Joe?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, new business. I have no bills. I'm afraid we'll get one tomorrow, but.
Do we have anything else in this one?
No, the item C was potential Eagle Scout project.
Well, that was just to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, we have lots of potential for Eagle Scout projects. The Eagle Scouts have, we worked with, or I talked to one earlier last year, and he ended up doing something at Nichols, which is fine. I believe that's him that did it at Nichols. We had talked about doing some work up at Davison. The suggestion, and I guess they went in another direction. But we have a number of projects going on and potential projects out there, and we look forward to working with Eagle Scouts or any kind of scout group in the future or any other volunteer.
We're volunteers ourselves.
Yep. I mean, we even put up with Gary, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about all this. I think that we have a number of much work to be done on our properties, town properties. And I think I think a sizable amount of potential Eagle Scout projects. And I don't know why we haven't heard from our East Haddam folks in a couple of years. I know the Mosaic boys, I think they're the last ones. They're very good, their project is very good. I think we need a representative of the commission needs to visit and go to a Boy Scout meeting with a presentation on what potential projects we have in our gateway, in our conservation mission project. And do some selling. Because maybe the words got out from the recent activities that we are not too interested in Eagle Scouts doing projects. And in fact, just the opposite. So I think we need to reach out to the Boy Scouts in East Haddam, particularly. Other
That
towns
sounds
are
like
welcome
something
too.
you should do,
What's
Todd.
that?
That sounds like something you should do, Todd.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
I
I can't.
think that'd be an excellent suggestion,
Thank you,
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn.
I think Paul would be great.
I
He
think,
has so much charisma.
I think that, but I don't wanna do something
Well,
that the commission
maybe
doesn't-
Paul and Todd could go.
I think two would be nice.
Yeah.
And the Girl Scouts too can do something on our property, not just the
Oh,
Boy
absolutely.
Scouts.
Yeah.
We should reach out to the Girl Scouts too. So, but we should do that. And, okay, thank you, Marilyn. I have everybody's support to do that.
Indeed,
Sounds
thank you.
good.
Is it you and Paul or just you?
I would like to go with somebody. I'd have somebody come with me.
Okay.
And Paul would be fine. So that's it. We'll do that.
Thank you.
And I'll contact Chris Bahilo. He's still the,
I believe so, I'm not sure. There was 2 troops in town, I think there's just one now. Did they combine?
Yeah.
It's 22?
Great, we'll do that and report to you at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. If anyone is thinking about Eagle Scout projects or something has crossed your mind in the past, whenever, feel free to feed that information to Todd and Paul. Okay, so we have no bills. Item B is the September event planning. So, scheduled for the 22nd, I believe. Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay. Afternoon or morning, was it? Or we hadn't set a time, actually, had we? So, so we've decided on the Patrell property. The activities will be, well, there's a number of things we can do there. So we have the cleanup, as Paul suggested, on the west side at the entrance where the old foundation is, removing the invasives and trees and everything there.
Brush.
I'm going to try and arrange to have a chipper there. Have a volunteer come with his chipper.
Carefully managed.
Yeah, well, he'd be the one chipping it.
Yeah, let him feed it.
It's a new chipper, so it's got automatic safety bars and all that stuff.
Yeah, but he'll be the only one running it. So.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not a duck and chuck.
Do you want that in the minutes
Yeah,
about the chipper?
I got used
Yeah.
to
We already
Oh,
approved.
those are scary.
I was contacted by the 8 Mile Group, and as part of the grant, it included work by volunteers. So one of the groups wants to do some workshops on invasives. So they want to identify the invasives on the general route of the 2 paths, the handicap paths, ADA paths. And so I'm gonna flag those out as best I can. And they very well may remove some or a lot of the winged euonymus, which is a big problem there, especially on the west side, or the west side path. The east side path where it cuts from one road to the other is less of an issue, but it is quite a lot of stuff will have to be removed on the west side. But this would be part of their training. And then the second part of it would be to identify and select shrubbery to be planted. So that would be a future project, possibly in the spring, okay, after the work is done. And the other thing we've talked about and haven't done yet is clean up on the west side of the brook for a picnic area, which could also be done. So, when did we walk those trails? Did you do those, Paul? Did we do
Yeah,
that?
we cleaned those.
Yeah, that's right. You went off in one direction and so all the trails were walked and cleared
That was
months ago.
before all the storms.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we got
There
down.
may be some more stuff down, but this went back to May, I believe.
We did a lot of clearing.
Yeah. So there may be additional stuff that has come down in the meantime. So there'll probably be a little bit of work done that needs to be done for trail clearing. So that could also be in your narrative that you're sending to the paper, Todd?
I've got a draft here.
Okay.
I'd like you folks to review tonight.
Okay.
Copy everybody. How about painting them? How's the paint doing on the trail marking?
I think everything down there is pretty good. So we can say possibly
Yeah.
reblazing.
Yeah, because those trails were painted after, or before Hatch and D. I lost track.
Yeah, they've been there a while. So
Yeah.
I know the red trail's good.
yeah.
The blue trail is good.
The blue trail is very good.
Very good. It's
Very
like
good,
every
Joe.
tree-
Blue trail is very good, Joe.
Every tree has a mark on it. I haven't done the white trail in a long time, but we're not going there. We're just staying on Trail, right?
Correct. So I think we're
I think we're in good
probably
shape.
okay, but
There's a little bit of the red trail that needs some clearing. It's the part that goes along by the river there.
yeah, we spent quite a bit of time
That's
clearing that.
pretty. Some of that's really narrow anyway, but
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is when I have the town go down there and mow, I'm gonna have them go with the boom mower and open up much of that field and clean
Okay.
that whole edge up.
okay.
Because there was a big tree, of course, and it fell right up the trail, which is always a mess, and took me a half an hour just to cut all the stuff out of the way on that particular section, so. It's not good, it's just so we could pass.
You say the town flail boom mower, you mean?
Yeah, boom mower.
When do you expect him to do that?
When they get down in that neck of the woods.
Okay, what I'm concerned about is nesting birds, right?
Yeah, well, everything's fine now, so nothing would be harmed or bothered at this point, so.
At this point, but in the spring.
Oh, no, he knows not to do it, they know not to do it in the spring, so. Yeah, I'm not gonna, this happens this fall, so.
Would that boom mower be any use up at the top there?
At the top
Where
of,
that foundation is? Clean that up a little bit?
it's gonna be all handwork, cause
Yeah.
I just soon not get the boom in there and,
Make a mess.
go grinding on the walls and everything, so.
Cookie Monster.
So,
Todd is always a paragon of, Todd and Paul are both paragons of not having the
yes,
sweets.
they are. They're very good.
And then Todd breaks down. Paul never does.
Never does.
He never does.
They're waiting to be off camera.
We're waiting till after the meeting, we take two.
When the camera's on.
Now it's 10 pounds.
That's
Okay, so
true,
do you have enough for
right?
planning it now?
Yeah, no, not quite,
No, because we were gonna wanna talk about beverages and food and
Yeah.
snacks and all that stuff.
yeah. And porta potties and stuff like that, yeah. How many people do you expect to have? The tools that they're gonna need, we're gonna provide the tools?
Well, they can bring loppers and pruning saws.
Okay.
This is for the East Haddam News that we're talking about,
Yeah.
what you're writing up?
Just a little bit about timing. For something to be in, on the newspaper that comes out next week.
Yeah,
It needs to be
it
in
has
by
to
this
be there
Thursday.
tomorrow.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the rules.
Okay, good.
Okay, so, hope you guys, well, I see some changes already, I'll make on this, but let you read it tonight. Submit it tomorrow, has to be submitted tomorrow, so you're quite right. For publish, next week on the 6th, then we can publish again on the 13th, publish again on the 20th, 2 days prior to the event.
Yep.
So we got
So we got
three
three.
opportunities. And this is good because last week it was before Labor Day, we probably would have read it anyway. But this time, this is good timing to do this, and be short and sweet. But we gotta make sure that we have plenty of work for them to do, so people don't come and find nothing to do, that would be bad.
No, I mean, if we end up with lots of people there, we can have them just go around, for example, and cut bittersweet out of the trees and things like that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no lack of work to do there.
Okay, so plenty of loppers, basically.
Yeah, everyone, if they, lopper, we'll have a good selection of loppers, but loppers, pruning saws,
What about the
hand pruners,
anvil pruners?
I don't think there'll be much of, lop, if you're gonna have anything, better to bring just loppers, so.
Yeah.
Well, those are the big things.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
there's not much that's gonna be,
Yeah.
no.
Well, what I've learned from past experience, a lot of folks don't have big yards to clean up, so they don't have loppers.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
Well, like I said, we have
I got
6
two
pair,
Yeah, I got two.
We have 6 pair?
yeah,
I have 2 pair myself.
so,
I have 2 pair.
Okay, that would work then,
between the land trust and the conservation commission, I think we have 6 pairs, so.
that's good.
If you're doing bittersweet though, a lot of times the bittersweet, you can use the hand pruning shears.
No, your hand will wear out in about 2 minutes. You need loppers.
I mean, if somebody brings that, we will try and accommodate them, but I mean, we may just give them a larger pair and have them keep the smaller ones in their pocket.
There's a good amount of work just around that foundation.
Oh, yeah,
Just to get that clear.
Any raking required?
there'll be some. So, if somebody wants to bring fan rakes and an iron tooth rake, I mean, again, we have a lot of those tools.
Any post installation?
We don't
No
anticipate
digging,
any.
no digging involved,
Not this time.
strictly surface work.
What about the weed ratchet or weed wrench that you said?
So we may utilize that because there are some invasives and, yes, we have the
Honeysuckle poppers?
honeysuckle poppers, which will be available for people to play with, so.
And they're good for taking out Japanese barberry?
Yep.
Oh, do we have much down there?
Yep.
Yeah, we do, I thought we did.
Yep.
So, honeysuckle popper?
Yep.
Guess somebody doesn't like honeysuckle.
No, they're made down south. I mean, technically, we have 2 of each, so there's 4 of those.
So that's a good tool. I wouldn't mind trying that myself. Okay, clean up on the west side of the brook.
Again, that's just loppers and stuff like that. Eventually, what we'll do is probably get down there with some chips and stuff and make a nice bed, but we don't know if we'll have time to. We may stockpile them there in case there's people that have time, but for future.
Trail clearing, but
Well, I don't know if there's gonna be that much trail clearing involved, because we've already addressed it, so outside of what Marilyn mentioned, there might be some stuff that has come down since we did it last, but we'll just have to, take a look at it. The problem is if we send people out, we don't know, and they really should go out with a saw if they're going out, so maybe we'll have time to inspect it beforehand.
Wouldn't you wanna send somebody from the Conservation Commission out with each group?
Yes, well, that's it, so,
Right,
yeah,
definitely.
everyone's,
I'll take a walk out
Does,
for them.
thank you.
do we do any mowing there on the, is it the north side on the other side of the bridge? Does that get mowed, that road that used to go up?
If Joe does it,
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the one that was near the old well?
yes, it goes
Yeah.
all the way out and comes out at the parking
The
lot, Boot
66
Rock.
chain, 66 chain one? With the 66 chains for whatever?
No, we're talking on the Woods Road that we use for building the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you have time, that may have really become encroached out by the parking lot at Boot Rock, the Boot Rock parking
Well,
lot.
you could just bring the mower,
Yeah, we could have the mower there too, so.
you know,
so
cause you
we
used to
have
be able
the
to drive
tool.
the truck through there, I don't know how
Oh,
it is
yeah.
now.
Actually, I've
It
driven
would
a truck
be
through a lot of things down there.
That flail mower would be
Will
nice to knock out
Will the
that.
commission be bringing like
Roses
wasp
up there.
spray?
Yes, we'll have a lot of wasp spray.
You know, the deep,
Well, we have the repellents and everything, yeah.
Is there any way we could get the flail up there to take out that, those huge multi-floor rows at Boot?
Maybe, well, I'm gonna see how,
You-
and, you know, even if we don't get it then,
I tried cleaning it up this spring when we were up there, but
yeah, but it
it's.
really
they,
is.
they sent runners out like
Yeah, they do.
10 feet long, I mean.
Well, I mean, these
they're-
plants are the size of this room, so
Yeah,
there's no, like,
that's where one of those races.
So, do we want a rain date? The next day for a rain date? If it rains, we're done.
No rain date, that's my opinion, because people have so many things planned.
Any thoughts on that? Rain
No.
date, no rain date, no rain date, Todd says. Everyone comfortable with that? Okay, if it rains, we're done,
Did
okay.
we talk about the hours?
So, I think actually for most people, Saturday afternoons works better.
Just a
But
quick
let's-
question, we were gonna feed them.
That's right.
Yes,
That was
so,
gonna be a
so the
major-
question is, if we, well, okay, so that,
Right.
where I was going.
Okay.
I think that's better for people, but if we feed them first, they're liable to leave and be too full to do work. So we could do it from 9 to 12 and feed them. That's what our original intent was when we wanted to do it
Yeah.
last spring, so we can still do that. I mean,
So, or feed them first and then go out to work.
yeah, so that's, you know, either feed them after or
Nobody
feed them
wants to work
first.
after they fill their stomachs.
No.
But you think the attendance will be poor on a Saturday morning as opposed to Saturday afternoon?
I just don't know.
It depends still on what the heat is.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
gonna
a hot,
be
if
like
it's a hot
big,
day, then they'd
you
wanna
wanna
come
get
in the
out there
morning, but,
morning.
That's correct.
so if it's
Weather's always
cool,
fresher, yeah, I agree.
I think it's just better to do it in the morning.
Yeah, I agree. And this is something that's not gonna happen overnight, and what I mean by that, we'll do this on September 22nd in the fall. We'll do it again in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again next fall. We'll pick up a pattern. Takes a while to build up a clientele and an attraction. And we'll provide good food that helps. Good food and drink always helps. So I think that's the approach we should take.
So. Now, Todd, you have a different perspective on good food and drink probably than some other folk here, so.
Maybe not
He's happy right now.
alcoholic
It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, so, what are we looking at? Soft drinks, lemonade, pizza, grinders, hamburgers, hot dogs?
I
I am
think
so embarrassed.
at one point, I think, Todd, you felt strongly that it should be like hot dogs or something
Yeah.
on the grill.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yes,
Um,
that's my opinion, yeah. Or we can buy a whole bunch of sandwiches from Subway. The Subway caters, so is D'Angelo's, so is other places cater, we can do that too.
And I
The
will.
trouble with ordering
I
ahead
will
of time
make
though,
tons of my fudge brownies.
and the brownies are unlimited, and the trouble is that,
Yeah.
thank you, Sue, for reminding me. If we knew how many people are coming, we could order food and not waste much. But if we don't know who's coming, that's a good thing about cooking on the grill, we can cook as needed,
Well, why don't you ask them to RSVP to you?
okay? Yeah,
Maybe you could read us your announcement. That would be
Yeah.
well,
great.
tell you the truth, I'll do better than that. I'll give you a copy. Now,
Minus the things you've added.
yes,
in our-
yes, you want to be short and sweet. I got the name of the property wrong. Is it Petrel, Chappell Farm, Boot Rock? I mean,
So, it's Chappell Farm,
yeah.
CHAPAL.
yeah, it's AL,
Yeah.
and it's Chappell Farm, Latrell parcel.
Yeah, so that's how it's signed as well. So driving down the road, you'll
Yep.
see Chappell Farm / Petrel, how's it?
Trail parcel.
Trail
So,
parcel.
On the sign says Chappell Farm with an A. Petrel parcel. Okay,
Is there a hyphen between the two?
no,
The trail has 2 L's?
Chappell Farm, Petrel parcel. Boot Rock is completely gone, that's some colloquial name
We're not just, I mean,
That's
we'll,
a different property.
if we go and work on the west side of the brook, we'll be in Boot Rock, but we're not gonna worry about that, because I don't wanna confuse people.
No, I don't either, that's, okay. All right, good. Chappell Farm Patrol parcel. Okay, the East Town Conservation Commission is sponsoring a stewardship Saturday on September 22nd, 9 a.m. to 12 noon at the Chappell Farm Patrol parcel on Baker Lane in the southeastern section of East Town.
I would add with lunch to follow.
No, just stop.
You're getting-
Volunteers, read it, Charlotte, please.
I
Vol-
was listening to you.
Volunteers are welcome. Lunch will be provided.
Volunteers are encouraged,
Yeah,
Volunteers are
encouraged.
are needed.
Are needed,
Let's make
yeah.
it needed. We
Needed
don't want them, we want to kind of get them there, not just say welcome.
Motivate them.
Sounds desperate to say needed.
We are.
Tell like it is,
Your
Paul.
point is,
How
Well-
about volunteers are enthusiastically encouraged?
Volunteers are needed.
Right.
Lunch will be provided. Please come see these beautiful, beautiful preserves and
This
help.
beautiful, it's just one,
This one,
this beautiful preserve.
and help with the volunteer work needed to maintain the trails.
You don't wanna use needed twice.
I didn't have it the first time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I like encouraged for the first one.
Encourage, no, that sounds too soft. It's much too soft.
I'll let you work it out.
Welcome is softer.
How about,
With the
how
word
about we move
required.
on?
And help, and help with the work, not, you don't have to say volunteer again, with the work required to maintain
Okay,
the trails on these
Yeah,
town
just take out the second
owned
one.
open, yeah, you don't need the
Required
need.
is better than needed.
Do we wanna make it plain that you don't have to be Paul Bunyan to do this?
Yeah,
All volunteers?
Volunteers of all abilities are,
Ages,
Yeah.
shapes, and sizes.
please come see this beautiful preserve and help
With the
with the work
volunteer.
required to maintain the trails on this town-owned open space.
right.
People don't realize that the town owns this. They still confuse the land trust with the Conservation Commission. That's why I put that in there. It's town-owned.
They'll always do that too,
Yeah,
till
probably.
we
Do
die.
you wanna mention too, something about the fact that isn't this the lot that there's some kind of funds being given to it to open it up for people with
Oh, the
How
ADA
many
trail?
disabilities?
Good point. Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
you could say that the town has recently, will be utilizing a grant to, make this facility ADA accessible.
Yeah.
This is the
Are you
first
at-
ADA, let's say, this is the first ADA accessible property,
This will be.
this will be the first ADA compliant property, open space property in Connecticut, in East Haddam, in Middlesex County.
I'll just go with East Haddam because
Wouldn't it be clearer to say ADA accessible rather than compliant?
ADA accessible.
Because then people understand they can get their compliant. Not quite as clear.
This is,
and we'll bring the 8 Mile River into reach for everyone.
Do you have any more of those orange t-shirts, Rob?
Are you gonna ask for RSVPs or?
Yeah,
okay, I'll read on. The Conservation Commission will provide the tools as needed. If you have no tools, if you have no tools, we'll provide tools, but if you have tools, please bring them.
And you're gonna list the tools we need.
Yeah, loppers,
Say,
pruning saws,
starting with,
rakes.
if you have loppers, et cetera, please bring them. If not, we will provide, some. Ask first and say provide second.
Thank you. There is no rain date, make it real clear. For more information, please contact me at my phone number or at my email. We
Ask for RSVP. I mean,
Yeah, say to RSVP or for more information.
Yeah.
and you may wanna just put a little blurb in there, come learn about what the Conservation Commission does, maintaining these open space parcels for your enjoyment.
The all-volunteer Conservation Commission.
You all volunteer.
That's very important because they think we're paid. for it.
Exactly.
What are those guys doing, working for the town on Saturdays?
Yeah, getting paid overtime.
Oh, they must be
We're
getting-
getting paid overtime.
Yeah, time and a half, double time on holiday
Yeah,
weekend.
it is time and a half. Double time on
It's
Sundays.
double time when you're running away from the bees.
Leaving hundreds of dollars worth of equipment out there.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay. So it's,
Anything, our wordsmith down there, anything else you wanna add, you think?
No, just when you send it in, there's two places that it could end up. It could end up in the community calendar, in which case they won't, they may not take all your words, they may shrink
Ask
it
for an
down.
article.
Right, so
Ask for an
the
article,
great
yeah.
thing would be if they would make it into a little article, so when you send it in tomorrow, you should, if you can, follow up or try. It's hard to reach people, humans there, you sort of have to email them, and I'm not sure you can get them on the phone, but anything you could do to encourage them to make it into a little article rather than just a notice, because they will just of necessity not put every word in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Russell Sadek has been,
Making
Chadwick has been very good. I call him ahead of time or email,
Oh, good,
I'm
That's
sending
good.
this in, and he's been pretty good about it.
oh, good, yeah,
He gives it separate.
call him.
And I'll call him too, Dave Holohan, yeah.
You got his number?
No, I don't. But
How about if I give it to you?
It's a good idea.
Well, you're gonna
But
write it
Russell's
down,
the
or you're gonna
guy-
remember it?
Russell's the guy that places the
That
article.
depends.
Would it make sense to try to fill a vacancy in the help wanted section?
Do what?
To try to fill our vacancy in the help wanted section also?
Let's not confuse the issue.
No, the others.
We don't wanna scare them. We don't wanna bait and switch them.
You know, at once.
It's really desperate.
I just. Not all at one time.
No, Sherlock, they think it's Shanghai.
I just thought it might be a good idea.
What's his number?
It's not a bad idea, but maybe I don't wanna,
On the same
you know,
page.
if we,
What's
Hand
David?
his phone down, so it's not
I-
recorded. Just hand your phone down there to him.
I sent it to him.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
Oh, he sent me an email, thank you.
Do you think that we could also send this to the land trust? Would the land trust send it out to the,
Oh, no, you can forward that to the land trust, we'll post it out to our,
Post it
on our website and on our, email.
Right, that would be great, and even if we have any contacts with the scouts, it's amazing what people will do for food. I mean, the fact that, I think that's the
That's the
No, I agree 100%.
Reach out to Bahilo and the Cub Scout group, I can't remember the gentleman's name that runs the Cub Scouts in town, but.
So we haven't decided what we're gonna have for food though.
No, we're gonna.
Oh, yeah. Big question is how many will show up?
Right,
That's the thing about.
Let's
cooking
figure,
things
let's
outside.
plan on hamburgers, hot dogs,
Yeah.
rolls and everything, and some,
Yeah.
maybe a couple salads we can buy and some
Good.
soft drinks.
But we'll have to emphasize the fact that we need a head count to know how much food.
Well, we'll know if we're having it after, we will know as people arrive, we'll know how many people we have.
I mean, we can always send somebody,
Yeah.
send a runner out.
The cook can go get the food first.
yeah,
Right,
Is there a grill already out there?
The grill costs about $100 to rent for the day.
we can supply you a couple grills, so.
Okay, that's good, I'd knock off $100. The porta potty, I think we need a porta potty. If you got
Well,
that
it
many
wouldn't hurt to
people.
have one, and that's 100 and, no, excuse me,
$120.
Yeah, something like that a day. So, and make sure it's an ADA one, ADA. So, excuse me, I doubt if we'll have anybody that, if they're coming out to work, that needs an ADA one, but
Just in case.
it's probably 140 for an ADA one, if I remember correctly. You can contact Lisa Conroy or whatever, because they use them for musical bridges and everything, so she has the vendor information.
Oh, Olson's? You mean the porta
Is it Olson?
It's Olson.
Okay, then you don't have to contact her.
Do you think it would be too much to say cookout lunch will be, cookout sounds so festive. You
Yeah,
know,
why not?
That it wouldn't just be a bologna sandwich, you know?
I
Yeah,
haven't had a bologna
it's a good lunch.
sandwich in
I mean,
years. Yeah, I
we
know.
gotta make sure that we serve food, we serve good food, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah.
There's, like I'm going back to that May, work party we had with the PepsiCo people
Mhm.
back in May of 2010. That was really nice.
Yeah.
It really worked. And, so that if we do that every fall, every spring, we'll build up a reputation.
What
as well as
about
get
paper
work done.
goods? And
Get
trash?
volunteers.
So, and this, Shannon brings up paper goods and, yeah, so.
So delegate, you know, give us all assignments for us, you know.
I mean, personally, I think we need to have a short meeting sometime before that,
Yeah,
just to make sure everything
Oh,
is.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, it needs well
Right,
organized.
yeah, that week.
We need coolers as well.
Okay.
Much cooler.
Anything else?
That's,
If you think of anything, add it or
yeah.
call somebody, whatever.
I'll have I'll write it tonight, have my editor read it over. And if we're still married after that,
You'll send it?
if I'm alive, I'll still send it.
You have a big house, Todd, you'll get over it by the morning.
Sometimes it's not big enough.
The horse was
That's what the
lonely
barn-
last
Yeah,
night.
the barn-
I know,
the
right?
barn
We got
steak,
large too, buddy. Do we wanna pick a date for the short meeting?
It wouldn't make sense. Between Todd and I, we have a lot of meetings.
well, it's the week before, right?
So,
Do we wanna keep the September 8th one? Since we're not gonna have one for the Boy Scouts?
no, I can't be at the 8th one. That worked out very well that he couldn't
Okay.
be there,
I think should be that week.
so.
I agree.
Yeah, we probably want to have it closer to the 22nd.
Yeah,
right?
so, I don't know,
15th, week before?
But would you have enough RSVPs?
Yeah, let's wait till closer to the,
it's either the 17th or 18th. And we don't wanna go out to the 20th, that may not give us much time, even though our Thursdays are gonna be free, right, Marilyn?
yes, that's right. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
How about the 20th? Would that work?
Is
Well,
that
we can
enough
do the 20th if that's enough time.
Well, we have to order the porta potty like,
Yeah, that has to be done ahead
Right,
of time.
but at least we can talk about what else we need.
the big sweat is grills. We got enough grills, that's half the battle, then a bunch of coolers for the,
Well, what do we have for the 8 Mile? We had, what, 3 sets of grills there, right?
oh, that should be more
Two,
than
I
sufficient.
think, wasn't there two?
Well, I had one, was it 2 or 3?
I think it was two
Okay,
altogether.
but 2 was plenty, and that,
How many people did
Oh,
you
yeah.
have?
Half coolers.
25.
so, why don't we do the 20th, since that is an open Thursday, and we wouldn't want to have an open Thursday.
No, can't waste open Thursday.
Oh, geez. That will give us enough time, but as long as you've ordered the porta potty before that,
That's it. That's
then we can deal with everything else at that time, so.
Alright, are we meeting here? And do you need a secretary? A recording secretary?
I don't think we need a secretary, unless anyone feels we did, and why don't we just meet at your house, sir,
It's fine,
Okay.
if that's okay?
that's fine.
What time, at 7? 7:30?
What works best for you?
7:30 is good for me.
Okay.
7:30.
Do you want the meeting posted? No recording secretary needed at the
It
meeting?
would have to be, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, it would have to be.
I
because-
can post it, I just won't attend.
That's fine.
It is a meeting though, we're gonna need minutes of some sort. Matt decided on.
I mean, you don't have to, it would be good if you could, but,
I think all we need, the meeting minutes don't have to be like this because it's One
It's
subject.
just a discussion on,
Yeah, it's a working meeting, actually.
Well, that's what the forestry and stewardship is as well. I mean, if you need me to be there, I can attend, I just need to know. It's swimming lessons for my son.
Oh, wow, really? Wow, that's good. Well, if we're gonna post the meeting, we need to have meeting
Yeah, you
minutes.
do, okay.
It can
So,
be short and sweet, but we need meeting minutes.
It'll be mostly a to-do list.
okay.
Right,
So I will post the meeting and I will attend.
thank you.
thank you.
I can't figure out how to delete this, so I'll have to figure it out.
And that would help because if I take the minutes, I can send them out right away to everybody and everybody
Okay.
has them.
Perfect. Thank you for attending.
You're quite welcome.
Okay, anything else on that subject? Because if not,
Okay, I got a question. How many people do you think will show up?
less than 20.
Yeah, less than 20.
If we get a dozen, that'd be
Thank you,
fantastic.
blood
Yes.
test. Get blood test. Oh.
Yep.
It's a dozen more than we've got in the past.
We can get,
You're
get a
looking
lot
for
of
people
work done with
outside the
dozen
CC, right? You're looking for people outside?
Yes, anybody in town,
Okay.
please. And, you know, we'll get some volunteers probably from the land trust too, so, but especially with
So-
food being offered, because I never offer them anything. so.
Once you get the announcement all ready to push the big button, can you send it to Shannon for distribution? Cause you know, we could individually.
We all have our
send,
contacts.
you know, we
Oh, yeah,
could-
good idea.
Yeah,
No, I
and if
will,
you know, I don't know how to do this, but who at this table knows how to make a Facebook event? Know
Oh,
how to-
I've done that, yeah.
Can you put it on Facebook, make a Facebook event?
I've done that before. We
And
did it
then
for the last
if
one we did.
Anybody on Facebook, you just start sharing it.
Yep.
Actually, I could also post it on the East Haddam info share.
Yeah,
And actually, we can also get it on the calendar, East Haddam calendar.
so.
I don't know, on Facebook?
No, just the East Haddam calendar. Just send that to Linda.
Okay.
that'd be a pleasant
Wouldn't
browser.
that be
It's
great?
a fast car to the grocery store.
Yeah, we'll,
That'd be a picnic.
Or a truck, maybe.
we should have
Fast
such
truck
a
to the
problem.
grocery store.
Right,
But I need to know well ahead of time to get that
Right.
A rise made.
we might have to do what, does your family have what we call FHB, which is family holdback?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
when you
yes,
get company
yes.
and you- right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be drooling over all the food that I'm
Oh, poor
grilling.
Rob.
That,
Sorry.
was
no-
that recorded? That just blew our whole invitation.
Okay,
I don't want that guy cooking.
all right.
Rob's gonna be chasing yellow jackets.
That's right, I'll be chasing yellow jackets.
So many people only look at social media now, you know, if there's any way
Oh,
we
yes,
can get
that's
it on
absolutely
Facebook,
true.
that would be,
That's absolutely true.
and we'll share it, share the heck out of it.
Okay, you all set?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, Todd. Public comment, sir. Hearing none. Did you have anything, sir?
Change.
The only comment I would make is I've been coming to these meetings, I think, since April. And really, the only way I hear about volunteer opportunities is when I come to the meeting and I kind of pick up, I glean, oh, you guys are gonna be here on such and such a date, and I'll show up and I'll hunt around and try to find you guys. But I'm wondering if you could have some kind of a calendar, or if there's like a volunteer coordinator among the committee who could keep a calendar to kind of publicize. Well, I mean, what we're doing here is a good thing, I think, with this September 22nd meeting. But I mean, you probably want people more often, right, to come when you're doing the.
Oh, yes, we need to
trails.
increase our general, and we will be talking about that at this event. Because historically, we've done it every 2 weeks. That's what our goal is. Now, we didn't do a lot during the summer because it was just a god-awful summer, so. In spite of it, you still found us a couple times, in spite of us moving around and leaving our phones and everything. It was an accident, really.
We also have those signboards that we
Yeah,
we
Yes.
got specifically for that
For
reason,
these types of
which we have-
things.
which we have never used really.
So, well, we've used them a couple times,
used
but
a
not,
But we were
not
gonna use
enough.
them, we were gonna post them around town to
Yep.
show where we were gonna be
Yep.
on specific Saturdays.
So I think we can probably set that up and, you know,
They
Stuart.
must
some
be
reason.
set up for this event. They need to be out. in
Oh,
front
yeah.
of
Yeah,
town
they gotta be
Well,
on the
we
roads.
should be using
Yeah.
them for every stewardship Saturday that we have, we should
Yeah.
put them out in,
Yeah, this is not a criticism, it's just a.
No, it's
a
a good,
suggestion that if you're looking for volunteers, And I know sometimes volunteers can be more of a liability than an asset. But if you have members of the commission who are there and can be with a group of volunteers and make sure.
Well, like I
they're
said, we
doing what
take
they
all
need.
skills and, I mean, we work with little people to, I mean, children and young adults right up through, so, when they've arrived, I mean, Cameron Beard has brought his children and other people have brought their children, so. We always have something for all ages to work on,
We had the
so,
little Boy Scouts there one time.
Yeah.
Hatch lot.
yeah,
The
they
whole
walked all
crew.
they walked the whole trail, right?
Yeah, Jack was leaf
Well, I have
blowing.
a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old at home with me right now, so I'm
Okay.
not sure if I'll be bringing them on the 22nd.
It's my son's 4th birthday. I'm thinking about bringing him though.
Really?
Break them in early.
Yeah. He can haul, once you cut the brush, he can haul it away. I love stuff like that. I do.
Where
Okay.
are where are those boards?
Right now, they're at my house,
Okay.
but they're at Todd's house normally.
Yeah, okay, so somebody should be in charge of doing that.
Who would like to do that?
Could that stuff be on the town calendar also, or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, our work party, yes, can absolutely be on the town calendar. We just have to decide far enough in advance
Yeah, that's kind
where
of
we're gonna be,
difficult.
yeah.
Right.
That's with the budget.
So, I mean,
Something
for
like
example,
this.
if we're working on the bridge and we got 20 people there, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
we-
you have to have the secondary.
Yeah, so we just, I may not advertise that one right away until we get to the point where we're putting decking down or something. I mean, when we did the big bridge, how many people did we do? I mean, you worked on that one day or
A few times.
across the 8
You
mile.
had
There were
plenty.
24 people
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
Yeah.
Bridge.
Well,
Yeah, but
yeah, a project like that, you always get guys that wanna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
cause
that's what you need to do. You need to get them out there, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? 'Cause then
yeah. So once we get through the initial section, which is getting the span in, then we can move forward with getting more people there.
When we initially did the hatch lot, we had a lot of people too.
Yeah,
We had a lot of people.
yep, working on the trails and everything,
Yeah,
so,
and it makes it makes it so much easier on us,
Yes.
Because you can send out crews and it's just,
one of the issues is that people like to be mundane stuff is
Born.
mundane.
It's like weeding, yeah. I know.
Yeah, yeah, so when we say bridge building or stuff like that, we usually get more interest, so. Or we're creating new trails and this, that, and everything else. This is kind of good, which is why we're emphasizing we're gonna clear up around foundations and make it pretty and put in a picnic area and things like that, so.
Paul brings up a good point about the initial crowd we got at the hash lot. And we didn't do a good job managing that because a lot of people showed up, because it's such a large property, they showed up a little bit late. So the rest of the crew was over here, and they're down here with nobody to tell them where to go and what to do. So they hung around for an hour or so, and they eventually disappeared. Not all of them, but.
Well, I
a few
think
of
we
them.
caught most of them, but I mean, it
But
was.
it gave a wrong impression that these guys don't really have the amount of work they said they needed, or they're not very well organized. So we gotta be real sharp with this Stewardship Sunday and any subsequent times where we got clear areas to work, we got a boss for each area. And
Stewardship Saturday, I just want to
that's
say.
right. And we get the work done, so people feel
That might be why we
things
have
to do, and we appreciate it. So this is a challenge, but if we keep doing that, we'll get more volunteers, I'm
So-
sure.
When we've had a large group, we've had enough to keep everybody busy. And like doing a bridge or anything like that, once we get going, we said we do the initial stuff. I mean, we didn't have a large group when we did the abutments because that was a single thing we were doing.
Yeah, you don't need large people. to do
Right,
it.
so. Okay. You all set now?
I'll be all set on the evening, September the 22nd.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Gary.
Shannon, you'll send it around to us?
Yeah, as long as you send it to me, I'll send it to everybody. I'll ask Linda to put it on the calendar and I'll put it on Facebook as well.
So we will do a better job about getting everything posted ahead of time now that we're in the fall. I
Now
mean,
you're beyond me. A GIF, I need to put a
And
GIF on there.
we do have at our meeting, we have decided on what we're gonna be doing in sequence, so. One question that came up at the stewardship subcommittee was asking Mr. Ventris to attend, and he will attend the next meeting.
Thank you.
here,
Yes, in October. I meant to mention that earlier. Okay, so our next meeting is October 2nd here.
With Mr. Ventris.
Yeah. He will be there's another meeting at the other side, so when that goes to 7, so when that, he'll come in over.
Is that the
whatever.
water?
Water Pollution Control Authority. Any other announcements or discussion from the group? What
What about that
B-man.
FOIA request?
about what?
Is that FOIA request something you guys already went over?
I'm just gonna address it, so.
Is there anything we need to do as the commission?
Nope.
I just want to say, Maryland did a map for the cross-country course at the high school. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and the
Oh, my.
coach and the athletic director was really blown away by it. I wanted to thank you for that.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Did you sign it?
So how long, how long a run is it?
It's 5,000 meters, so 3.1 miles.
So someone designed the route and gave it to you and said, map this, or how did you do it?
Yeah, we walked it,
Yeah, we walked it.
we walked in the trails, and
Yeah, this year we changed a little bit. You walked it last year. This year
Yeah.
we changed the start and the
changed a little
finish.
bit of it.
Wow. Neato.
Keep practicing, you'll get it right.
Smack him.
I know.
Happy.
This is why you're so good.
It's a little wacky because they have to, the way they have to do things, they don't really have a track or anything, so they have to do
Yeah.
around things multiple times and
That's
go
how.
in
Yeah,
different
that's how most of
directions.
them are. Because there's
Yeah,
to
it's
have
just,
that much land at a
it's-
school is.
so they
not
go
gonna
around
happen.
things and they change directions and stuff, so you're doing the same loop, but sometimes you're going in a different direction, so
Yep.
it's a little confusing, but
Do you happen to know if there's plans set up for the installation of that track as the fields are back here? So we can.
For a regular track, you mean?
regular
Yeah,
track?
well, that set up, apparently there's a foundation for it already set up.
So, actually, I brought that up at the last selectmen's, last
on
Board
this
of
one.
Education meeting. It shows it on this,
That's-
it says athletic field here.
That's more important than that to me. in my
Yes, but
opinion.
that's not, that's for future, so,
It's not putting the track here.
no, no, no.
Okay, yeah, because it's there, right?
Yes, it's here. There's a
It's all
base
there.
for the track is in here already.
They just
I was
covered it
just
with
saying we
dirt.
should have plans ready to put
So,
that in the next one.
so I actually brought that up at the last Board of Education meeting, and they're supposed to be reviewing it and putting together a plan for infrastructure changes or improvements. So, because a lot of people have brought it up, including me,
Yeah, I brought it up several years in a row,
so.
Board of Education meeting.
So, this is very good, it's very, and I have to say, Paul and Gary Sikorsky have done a phenomenal job volunteering lots of time when they should have been working for us on, on putting this in and cleaning this all up. It has really come a long way from when he made me walk the whole thing with him,
Yeah,
so.
it's,
Um,
you could drive a truck down most of it.
Yeah, it's amazing what
You
parents
should,
can do.
Is that open to
well,
the
you should
public?
see it now compared to when you walked it.
Because it
Oh,
was pretty amazing what
No,
he
it's,
did.
it's
Is
a lot
this
better
open to the
now.
It
public or only for?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, it would be open for the public to use, there's nothing says they can't use it. Of course,
Right.
some of the things, you know, if they're having a baseball game, you don't wanna be,
Right, because you're walking through those
Right.
fields, but yeah.
But you
it's-
could, like on a Saturday, you could go
Oh,
walk
yeah,
it? Okay.
yeah.
See, you,
That's skiing.
you start.
actually, it'd be,
but
it'd be-
parts of it would be great for cross
finish,
country.
you
Yeah.
go this way.
Yeah.
So
You have to get up that
it's
hill though on
basically
your
the
vehicle
same
first.
trail.
No, no,
but
no,
I had to
no,
put it
no,
in
no.
twice.
Yeah, school drive?
Oh, that's on your picture?
In the
Yeah,
garage.
if I can find
Get
it.
it on my phone.
But see, it's really the same track.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
So
minute, that was a text you
I
sent
had
me,
to
sorry.
move
Yeah,
it
it's in the
slightly to
text.
a different, just a little
Yeah.
off
Actually,
center and make it so you
We
can go
used
back.
we used road sweepings. Gary got them to deliver road
And you're
sweepings.
doing this red thing.
And piles of dirt that they had piled up there from the athletic fields. So it didn't cost them anything.
Gary Sikorsky, like Gloria Sikorsky's son?
And then down here.
He's got 2 boys?
Yes.
Yeah, yep. He's my cousin.
And a daughter?
No, I
No,
don't.
just 2 boys?
Just 2 boys, yeah. Christine is his wife.
It's crazy,
No, Gary?
but they have
He's my
to do.
cousin.
That's what it looks like now.
Oh, wow, that looks fantastic. So how do you get
Work he
there?
did,
It's right.
Clearing the
If you look
whole
at the
thing.
map, it's right
nice
behind the
and-
school.
Just pass it around in case people.
Here's what it looks like now.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Yeah,
my
that's
question is, do you need more
So
material?
where do you go, Marilyn?
I
So
would
here's-
like more material on the
So you just
steep
keep driving
slopes so
around?
we don't get washouts.
You go
So
back
my question is,
in back
Okay.
here, all right, and
we
go
have material
here and
stockpiled,
start here. So
Yeah,
here's
at
the
the
soccer
yard.
field.
right?
Oh, okay.
So you
So
start here.
we could do two things.
And you
If
go
you
like
need
that.
it ahead of time, we
Then
could
you go around.
let the town
No,
provide
no,
that
wait.
and just reimburse us from the
Yeah, it's got
school.
little
You said
arrows
that
on
Oh,
school,
it does, okay.
Yeah, and then like
Because
go down here.
if
and
it's already
around.
there and they have to use small dump trucks to get it to where you need it, then
See,
there's
with
no
this
sense
one,
having it delivered in
it's
a
really the
triax
same
unless they're gonna,
Thing,
Run
but I
something.
Not
had
truck it, yeah, unless we're gonna,
I had to
They-
duplicate it. and
because
So-
put it
most of the
on.
places, they can get in there
Exactly
with,
the
like,
same
they must have
Yeah.
mason dump.
I see,
Yeah,
so
they
this
do.
is where we all
Mason
parked the
dump it
boat.
right
Yeah.
there.
Okay, I know where you're
Yeah.
at, okay.
they also have, I
Nice
think they
spread.
have a skid steer. Do they have a skid steer?
Who's
I
they?
don't- What's that?
Who's they?
The Public Works. So,
Are they ever?
Don't forget, you can rent equipment if you don't have it.
yeah, but I mean, they've been using their own equipment for
Yeah.
now, so.
My own tractor.
Yeah, you can walk.
Is there anything else you want in the minutes besides
And
the
the
fact
middle
that?
school.
So the question
has-
is, do you
has a
need
hiking
assistance
trail. There's a
now?
bunch of hiking
Not
trails I
right
didn't
now.
have
Okay.
for last year
Okay,
that you can
Alright.
walk.
all right.
I'm not
Really
putting this
overgrown.
back
They
in the
haven't
minutes
been able
No,
to
no, no.
keep that clean.
This is
Anything else for the good of the order?
painted.
Yeah,
Joe, anything else for the good of the order? Sue? Marilyn?
no,
Adjourn.
We're adjourned.
Okay, just before anybody makes any comments, let me just stop recording.
Thank you all.
Yes, I got one question.